Welcome back, everyone. Here's one thing crabs can do to your body. And when I first encountered this, I was absolutely disgusted. But then I learned more about it, and I'm not so disgusted anymore, although some of them can still be pretty gross. A lot of people don't realize that there are actually different kinds of crabs. I mean, we all kind of lump crabs together, but really there are many different kinds of crabs, and they all do intact the same way or eat the same things. For example, some crabs are scavengers. They just kind of pick at dead stuff that's lying around, and they might even eat each other if they get the chance. Then there are crabs that hunt live prey, things like snails and clams, and then there are crabs that eat plants. So just like with spiders, how they all aren't the same, what you might experience from one may not be the same with another. That being said, there are some things that all crabs have in common. First, let's talk about their legs. All crabs have 4 pairs of legs. The first pair is called the chelops. These are the big pincers that they use for crushing and tearing their food. Then the next 3 pairs are called the parapods. They use these for walking, and they also help them hold their prey while they tear into it. Now, most crabs can regenerate these legs if they lose them, but it takes time and energy. Also, some crabs only get one shot at these legs. If they lose them, they're not coming back. This is why a crab will sometimes hold on to its food and not eat it right away, saving that food to sustain it while it grows new legs. Okay, now what can crabs do to your body? Well, those big, chompy mouth parts can definitely do a number on your fingers. If you were to grab a crab by its claw and try to pull it off, its instinct would be to pinch you as hard as it can before running away. Now, depending on the species of crab, that pinch could be enough to crush your finger. And that S, why, if you ever see someone grabbing a crab by the claw and trying to pull it off, you should warn them to let it go, because it could hurt them really bad. And those aren't the only mouth parts that crabs have. They also have a gizzard, which is basically a really tough, hard shell inside their stomach. And this is used to grind up their food. Now, you may have eaten crab meat before, but that gizzard isn't very tasty, so it's usually removed before the crab meat is sold in stores. Now, this gizzard can pose a problem if you try to eat a crab whole. You may have actually bitten into one of these and felt like you had a little stone stuck in your throat. That's probably what it was. And that's why it's recommended not to eat crabs whole, because that gizzard can crack teeth. So be careful. And finally, there's one part of the crab that I bet you've never thought about before, and that's their tongue. Some crabs have a tongue that has rows and rows of teeth on it. And this is used to scrape algae and other plant matter off of rocks and surfaces where they live. But some crabs have tongues that are covered with hooks instead of teeth. And these are used to snag onto slippery prey so they can pull it back into their mouths. Now, this wouldn't really affect humans unless, say, you stuck your finger in a crab's mouth and it clamped down on it. Then you would feel the hooks digging into your finger. So if you're going to be messing around with a crab's mouth parts, make sure its mouth is fully closed before you do anything else. Otherwise, you could get hooked. If you want to know more about what crabs can do to your body, then check out the next video. Till then, remember, a crab's mouth is full of surprises.